Welcome to the Center for Student Learning Study Skills Workshop, Managing Your Time. My name is Melissa Hortman and I'm the Study Skills Coordinator in the Center for Student Learning, and I will be speaking today for this presentation. In this presentation, we will discuss how to manage your time as the semester picks up and more tasks are put on your plate to complete. We will talk about building your schedule with different organizational methods, some time savers to be more efficient in your scheduling, and a bit on procrastination, giving you some short and long-term ideas on how to change that habit. Managing your time is one of the most important pieces to being successful in college. It is a skill that you will not only use in college, but for the rest of your professional life. Start developing healthy habits now for managing your time to be as successful as possible in your time here at CFC. Time can't be managed, but you can manage the amount of time you use each day. This is a very important statement to remember as we dive into managing your time. Everyone is given the same amount each day, but it is what you do with that time that matters. There are a lot of tips and tricks out there to building your schedule, but this is a good time to experiment and find an organizational method that works for you. Next, we will talk about how to build your schedule with technology and in traditional ways. Technology can be a really great way to build a schedule and manage your time. Most students have technology already integrated into their lives, so this is an easy way to utilize resources we already have available. As a CFC student, your student email address is a Gmail address. This in turn gives you access to all of the great things that Google has to offer for free. You can use their calendar function, which can be accessed on desktop computers as well as synced to mobile devices. Within Google Calendar, you can create reoccurring events, share events with others that have Google Calendar, and organize events that you put on your calendar by color coordinating events to different calendars. iCalendar is a calendar that is available on iPhones as well as on Mac computers. This is a very similar calendar to Google Calendar. However, you can change themes and colors to make the calendar more personal and fun. Wunderlist is a free to-do list app that allows you to categorize and form to-do lists. There can be recurring things to do, you can share your to-do list with others, and you can set reminders for your to-do list to be sure you are accomplishing everything you need to get done. I think this is a good app to try out to see if it will help with keeping you on task and help you to remember all of the tasks you have to complete as a student. Gtasks is a similar free app that will sync to your Google Calendar to create events as to-do list items on your list. This app will also send you reminders and act as a checkoff list to be sure you are completing all of your tasks. I think technology is a great way to build your schedule if it is already integrated into your life. However, this isn't for everyone. Be sure you can keep up with the demands of technology and the absence of a written schedule. Other students are traditionalists in that they like paper and pencil to manage their time. This is the way we were taught our whole lives, so if this way has worked for you, stick with it, but remember to enhance it to be as effective as possible as a college student as well as when you become a professional. Planners can be purchased at almost any store, but be aware that the type of planner you buy is very important. Planners can range in size and information included in the planner. Be sure that the planner you purchase has everything you are looking for. Weekends included in the weekly pages, monthly calendars, enough room to write in the days, a to-do list if you need that, and whatever else you need included to make the planner as useful as possible. Make sure you are able to fit this planner in your book bag, other bags, and purse, as this is where you will keep all of your events, so it is important to have with you at all times. Paper calendars are also an option for those who don't want to purchase a calendar. The Center for Student Learning prints out semester, monthly, and weekly calendars that you are more than welcome to come and pick up as many copies as you would like. To-do lists are great to write out everything you need to accomplish for the day, prioritize it, and mark off things when you accomplish them. You can do this on anything, a pad of scrap paper, in your planner, or print out to-do lists. Sticky notes are also an option for those who want to make a to-do list to keep them on track. You can put sticky notes in your room, on your mirror, on your wall, in your books, or in your notes. Find a fun and creative place where you can remind yourself to do tasks. There is something strong in writing down your schedule versus putting it in your phone. You can visually see a lot more than you could on the computer, and you are more likely to stick to a schedule you have drawn out. Find what organizational method works for you, whether it is through utilizing technology or traditional ways. The first calendar we will look at is the semester calendar. A unique semester calendar is produced for every semester through the Center for Student Learning, and this calendar is good for all students to have. It is good to see the big picture of all the weeks in the semester on one piece of paper. Use this calendar to put your big tests and events on to see when those heavy weeks will be for you throughout the semester. This is an easy way to plan ahead. Pick up a paper copy of this calendar in the hallway of the Center for Student Learning, or go to our online library to find an electronic version. This monthly calendar is also available in the hallway of the Center for Student Learning, as well as our online library. A monthly calendar is useful for those who want to see the month at a glance and be able to plan events and tests on a larger scale. This calendar gives you a good look at your weeks ahead to plan for assignments and tests that you may have a week or more out. To-do lists can be customized and printed from various websites or created on paper you are already using. Daily to-do lists are the best way to think about things you need to get done because this does not allow you to push things off to the next day. Complete everything on your list. So that means knowing your limit for yourself and not overscheduling yourself. If you are going to make a to-do list, be sure it is easily accessible and with you at all times. Make it useful and fluid to fit into your life. Be sure there is somewhere to cross off, check off, or highlight tasks when you complete them to make it move throughout your day. If you are a procrastinator, this may not be the best form of time management for you since there is no regulation on when you need to complete tasks, only that you need to get them done at some point in the day. Copies of this weekly calendar can be accessed in the Center for Student Learning as well as our online library. The weekly calendar is a good calendar for those that have a lot going on in their lives and need more regulation in getting tasks done. The process of putting together a weekly calendar is good to go through, and we will do that right now. First, you need to think about what are your non-negotiable tasks, such as class, work, eating, sleeping, and other weekly obligations and organizations or meetings. You want to first put all of those down on your calendar. Then you can move on to tasks that may fluctuate each week, like studying, meetings, and other events. Be sure to leave in flex time between these tasks. This leaves time for life to happen because there are always uncontrolled circumstances that may arise throughout our day. You can pick up as many copies as you would like of this weekly calendar in the Center for Student Learning to plan out all of your weeks to be sure you are getting done all of the tasks that you need to complete in your days and weeks. We want to make sure that when we have very little time that we are using it the best we can. I've pulled out the top 9 time savers from our time management handout with 20 time savers on it. The first is to prioritize your tasks for each day. This will help you to discern what are the most important tasks for you to complete that day and figuring out for yourself where your priorities are in your studying. Plan tasks before you dive into doing them. When you plan tasks before you do them, you cut out the first 10 or so minutes if you didn't plan and need to do it when you sit down. This ensures that you have all the materials you need while studying and gives you a more specific goal to complete rather than going into a studying session that you may have written down as study biology and unsure of the specific tasks you should complete within that goal. Be sure to subdivide tasks on your calendar to break down large projects into doable pieces that can be done over time instead of trying to cram a whole study and review session into the night before an exam. When you are sitting down to study, pay attention to your attention. Know how to concentrate on tasks when you need to get them done and not allow yourself to get distracted. There are a lot of additional materials in the Center for Student Learning on how to concentrate better. Set time limits for yourself in studying to almost force yourself to complete the task at hand and not let it drag out longer than it needs to be. Save some time by studying in a study group. Working in a group is good for people to have others to discuss and learn material from. Find students in your class who you can trust to keep you on task as you try to learn material in a more efficient way. Try to limit social media as you try to concentrate on tasks instead of it being a distraction while you study. Put your mobile device to the side as you study and use your break while studying to check social media. This can be one of the hardest challenges for college students since everyone is so connected. You should know your priorities and know how much a little distraction can throw you off. Don't try to overschedule yourself as you put together your calendar or to-do list. Remember, know your limit and how much time you realistically have in the day to get tasks completed. Finally, find a study hideaway. This is very important for students that get distracted as they study. When you find a nice, quiet place free of distractions, you will be surprised how much work you can get done. These 9 time savers can easily be implemented into your life to start using your time more effectively and in turn, hopefully saving some time. If you're interested in more time savers, you can find more on the time management handouts in the Center for Student Learning or on our online library. Watch this video. It is a good illustration of how we can be more efficient when we sit down and study.
Technique 3. Cyclical concentration. Working when you are at your most effective makes your life more productive and enjoyable. Understanding how your concentration works is part of understanding how you can study at your best. Our brains and bodies function cyclically. They are designed to work intensively during long periods of time with short breaks in between. This means we can only concentrate for about 45 to 60 minutes intensively in one go. All our work after that becomes ineffective as our attention wanes. We are not made to work all day long without any mental relaxation. You have probably already unconsciously realized this without really thinking about it. You know that feeling when you are working for a long period and you are hit by a sense of fatigue? Like a little mental shock to your brain. That is when it is time to take a break. Your mind is asking for a pause. Now, what do most people often do in this situation? They keep going, get a cup of coffee, energy drink, or some other stimulant and push themselves further than needed. This is wrong. At this moment, you should take a break instead for about 15 minutes. You can watch a video, check Facebook, or eat a snack. Do nothing that requires a mental effort. Work only when your body is at its most effective. Working throughout a mentally tired condition does not aid your work and requires more time for less work. I recommend an early study period of between 60 to 90 minutes. Then you should take a 15-minute break. You should immediately start your studies again for about an hour and take another break of 15 minutes. In the next couple of hours, your breaks can be a little longer, but no more than 30 minutes. Do this for 4 or 5 hours of studying and you will reach your maximum capacity of effective studying that day. Afterwards, you will still have the entire evening free to do what you like. Doing other things, like taking 1-hour breaks or trying to study 2 hours without a break, will take up more time. Renewal is essential for the body and brain. Let me explain this with an anecdote. A man walks through the woods and sees a farmer sawing a tree. The farmer is sweating heavily and an expression of exhaustion is noticeable on the farmer's face. The man walks up to the farmer and asks how long he has been sawing. 5 hours. I'm already halfway. The man asks, why don't you take a break for 15 minutes and clean your saw? You'll saw better when you start again. The farmer responds, I have no time for that. I have to keep sawing. Only 5 more hours left. This is an example of renewal. Although the farmer would gain time in taking a break sometimes, he is so focused on his work he fails to see the advantage of renewing his saw. This is applicable to studying too. You have to renew the saw occasionally. Renewing is one of the best things you can do to work effectively. So the better you time your breaks and understand how your concentration works, the more work you will get done in lesser time. Technique 3.
Remember the importance of taking breaks and being sure your brain is as sharp as it can be while studying to really retain the most information. One of the best ways to be efficient in your studying habits is by using the Study Power Hour. This is an easy way to break up your material into chunks while still having time to review and take breaks. For the first 5 minutes in this hour, you want to prepare yourself for all that you will cover in this next hour by skimming over the materials and gathering major themes and topics. This is a very important piece of studying because it gives you that previous knowledge that you can then link to material as you study it. For the next 40 minutes, you will study hard, a limited time, concentrated, and social media free studying. Be sure you are using this time effectively to cover all the material you will need to get done. You will be surprised the amount of information you can study in a 40-minute time if you are studying efficiently. Now you deserve a break. For the next 10 minutes, take a break and do something that is not academic related. Make a phone call, catch up on text messages, check social media, go for a walk, or get a coffee. Do something that gives your brain a break. Be sure your break does not extend past 10 minutes. Finally, come back for the last 5 minutes of the hour and go over the information you just learned. Review all of the material to be sure you understood what you just covered in the last hour before you move on. This process allows for a cyclical look at information from the beginning to end and not just seeing it once and moving on. This gives you time to really understand what you are learning. The Study Power Hour can be implemented in almost every course with any assignment from reading to math. This is a good framework to begin seeing what you learn in a more in-depth way. Finally, we will talk about being a procrastinator. We were all a little bit of a procrastinator when we changed life circumstances, such as having much more freedom in time management in college or adding in new time constraints to our lives. We will see if you can relate to being a procrastinator first. Then we will talk about some tips and tricks to help you overcome procrastination. Take a minute to look at these questions and see if you can relate to any of these reasons for people becoming procrastinators. There is hope to overcome procrastination, and since procrastination is a habit, it takes about 30 days of consciously making the decision to not procrastinate. Really, this is nothing you can change overnight or even in a month. Allow yourself to take time to overcome procrastination, because becoming angry at yourself for relapsing is not a good way to keep motivation. A few of these tips are ones we already covered in how to save time and be more efficient in how you are studying. Some other short-term fixes are by surrounding yourself by doers and people that will say no to hanging out to study. You can use these people as accountability partners to be sure to keep you on task and going. Another easy thing to implement into your life as a procrastinator is saving the things you like to do until you have finished studying for a period or day, such as waiting to watch a show on Netflix until you have finished studying the section you need to get done. All of these tips can help you fix your procrastination habit very quickly in the short term. Try to start implementing a few of these in your daily life to help you overcome procrastination. There are also some long-term fixes for procrastination. These tips are more of those that will take a while to implement and help you overcome procrastination. They are more of personality and life adjustments. Increasing self-confidence, belief, and motivation can take a lot of time to work into your life. Know that this will take hard work on your part by searching within and getting the support around you to help you through this journey. Managing your energy and improving planning strategies goes hand in hand, and these topics can be discussed with a professional staff member in the Center for Student Learning to help you through this process. Know there are people in place around you to support you on this endeavor to overcoming procrastination and working towards having good personal life skills. This concludes the Managing Your Time workshop. If you have any further questions about this workshop or the content, please come to or contact the Center for Student Learning at 843-953-5635. We are located on the first floor of the Addlestone Library off of Calhoun Street and are also mobile at csl.cfc.edu. Please take a look at our other videos available for other topics and online library of handouts as a resource. We hope to see you in the CSL soon.